Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet calling it quits after 16 years together. All right, so here's the big question. Were there signs of trouble in paradise?
From the
It's
outside,
very hard. It's
Yeah.
very hard. It's very hard on people. And
For years, Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet were Hollywood's picture of a perfect couple. Two free spirits, wildly talented and deeply in love. Fans adored them, tabloids chronicled every outing, and the world believed their love was unbreakable. But appearances can be deceiving. Behind the public smiles and red carpet moments, cracks were forming, silent, private, and heart-wrenching. And now, after a year of speculation, Jason Momoa has finally spoken. In an interview that has stunned fans worldwide, Momoa confirmed the truth behind their divorce, a story that has been whispered in rumors, dissected in headlines, and speculated about endlessly. What he revealed was not scandalous gossip, but a deeply human story of love, growth, and the challenges of two extraordinary lives trying to coexist. A story that reminds us that even the strongest bonds can face trials too complex for the public eye to understand. This is more than a tale of Hollywood separation. It is the story of a man who loved fiercely, fought to protect his family, and ultimately made one of the hardest decisions of his life. The father of two, the star of blockbuster films, the icon with a magnetic presence. The Jason Momoa we know is also a man grappling with heartbreak, reflection, and the search for peace. At a time when rumors swirled, Jason chose silence, but now he has chosen truth. And the reason behind his divorce is more revealing, more emotional, and more relatable than anyone could have imagined. Before the world knew him as the rugged, charismatic Aquaman or the fearless Khal Drogo, Jason Momoa's story was one of perseverance, identity, and relentless ambition. Born in Honolulu, Hawaii, Jason was the only child of a painter mother and a native Hawaiian father with deep roots in his culture. From a young age, he was surrounded by the contrasts of island life, the serenity of nature, the weight of heritage, and the pressures of a world that often felt both vast and confining. These elements would shape not just the man he became, but the actor the world would one day admire. Adolescence for Jason was a mix of rebellion and discovery. Standing out with his tall frame, piercing gaze, and natural charisma, he often drew attention, sometimes welcome, sometimes unwelcome. He was athletic, artistic, and restless, dabbling in surfing, drawing, and eventually exploring performance. Yet life wasn't always easy. Financial constraints and the realities of a single-parent household forced him to navigate challenges early, instilling in him both resilience and a profound understanding of the value of hard work. Momoa's entry into entertainment was unconventional. He began modeling as a teenager, winning local contests that opened doors to commercials, music videos, and eventually television. The journey was not instant fame. It was a series of small victories, each requiring tenacity and self-belief. Friends and early mentors recall his fearless attitude, a willingness to embrace risk, and an intensity that hinted at the star he was destined to become. Yet behind the boldness, Jason carried a quiet humility, a recognition that every opportunity was a chance to prove himself. His early acting career took him from Hawaiian productions to the international stage. He appeared in soap operas, small roles, and gradually earned recognition for his unique presence and commanding screen energy. By the early 2000s, he had begun to attract attention for his striking looks, intense performances, and a charisma that drew audiences in. Despite the growing fame, Jason remained grounded, fiercely protective of his personal life, and deeply aware of the responsibility that came with visibility. It was during this formative period that Jason's life intersected with someone who would change it forever, Lisa Bonet. Before meeting her, he was building his career, defining his voice as an actor, and learning to navigate the complexities of life in Hollywood. He was a rising star, but also a man deeply connected to his roots, family, and personal identity. These traits, forged through years of struggle and self-discovery, would later define the dynamic of his relationship with Lisa and the challenges they would face together. Jason Momoa's early years were a foundation of resilience, ambition, and authenticity. The roles he took, the choices he made, and the lessons he learned in those years set the stage for both his career triumphs and the personal trials that would follow. He was not yet a husband, a father, or a global icon. He was a young man learning to reconcile talent with responsibility, ambition with integrity, and freedom with the demands of a fast-changing world. When Jason Momoa met Lisa Bonet, it was a collision of worlds, a union that seemed destined to capture the imagination of the public. Lisa, already an established actress with a storied career, exuded grace, wisdom, and an enigmatic charm. Jason, the rising star with raw energy and a magnetic presence, brought youthful vitality and passion. Their connection was immediate and profound, a meeting of minds, hearts, and spirits that felt both unconventional and perfect. Their romance quickly became a headline-grabbing story. Hollywood and fans alike were captivated by their love, intrigued by the pairing of a free-spirited icon and a larger-than-life rising star. Photos of them walking hand-in-hand, attending premieres, and supporting each other's careers painted a picture of romantic idealism. Yet even as the world cheered for their love, the couple was quietly navigating the complexities of life in the public eye. Every gesture, every smile, and even every disagreement was observed, analyzed, and often sensationalized. Marriage brought both joy and new challenges. Jason and Lisa built a family, welcoming 2 children who became central to their lives. Parenthood deepened their bond in profound ways, creating shared purpose, moments of tenderness and laughter amid the chaos of celebrity life. Friends who observed their family life recall a deep sense of commitment and love, a household filled with creativity, music, and artistry. Yet even in these moments, the pressures of fame never truly receded. Both Jason and Lisa had distinct identities and careers, and balancing personal ambitions with marital life required compromise, patience, and understanding. The constant media scrutiny amplified the smallest of conflicts, and the expectations of a perfect Hollywood couple often collided with reality. Behind the scenes, they faced the ordinary struggles of any relationship: disagreements, exhaustion, and the challenge of maintaining intimacy. But the public rarely saw these nuances. Instead, their marriage was often reduced to sound bites, paparazzi snapshots, and speculation, placing immense pressure on a love that was otherwise authentic and resilient. Despite these challenges, their love endured for years, becoming a model for those who admired them, not for perfection, but for authenticity. They embraced life together with passion and artistry, defying conventional norms and carving their own path. Yet even the strongest relationships encounter obstacles, and over time, the pressures of individual growth, public life, and personal differences began to weigh heavily on the marriage. The story of Jason and Lisa is not one of superficial celebrity gossip. It is a story of 2 extraordinary people trying to navigate love, family, and self-identity under intense scrutiny. Their romance was magical, yes, but also human, filled with joy, struggle, compromise, and reflection. It was a partnership that captivated the world, a love admired for its intensity, creativity, and devotion, but also one that had to confront the realities of life beyond the public gaze. In the end, their love story, while deeply inspiring, was a reminder that fame magnifies both beauty and strain. It created moments of wonder, but also challenges that no headline could ever fully capture. And as fans would learn in the following years, even the most captivating love stories can face moments of heartbreak, reflection, and ultimately, separation. For all the public adoration, the glitz of Hollywood, and the appearance of a perfect union, Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet's marriage faced hidden struggles that rarely made headlines, but ultimately shaped their relationship. From the outside, they seemed untouchable, a free-spirited, artistic couple, admired for their individuality and strength. Yet behind closed doors, the pressures of fame, personal growth, and family responsibilities quietly eroded the foundation they had built together. The life of a Hollywood celebrity is glamorous, but it comes with relentless expectations. Jason's career demanded long hours on set, international travel, and immersion into roles that required not just physical strength, but emotional intensity. His persona as a bold, fearless actor contrasted with the private moments when exhaustion, stress, and the weight of responsibility settled in. Lisa, too, had her own path, one marked by creativity, independence, and a desire for authenticity. Balancing two strong personalities, each navigating personal and professional growth, became increasingly challenging. Over time, small disagreements turned into lingering tension. Differences in lifestyle, priorities, and vision for the future surfaced, and the strain was compounded by the constant media attention. Every move they made was scrutinized, every disagreement magnified, and every intimate moment speculated upon. Friends and insiders noted that while Jason and Lisa loved each other deeply, their relationship began to feel like a tightrope act. Every misstep noticed by the world, every decision weighed against public perception. Parenthood added both joy and pressure. Raising two children, maintaining privacy, and managing demanding careers created stress that even the strongest bonds struggled to withstand. Jason, with his larger-than-life persona, sometimes found it difficult to balance work commitments with family responsibilities, while Lisa's independent spirit occasionally led to clashes over priorities. These were normal marital challenges, but magnified exponentially by the public eye. Underlying all of this were moments of personal reflection and internal struggle. Jason has admitted in interviews that maintaining a marriage while pursuing a high-profile career required compromise he sometimes found impossible. Lisa, equally committed to authenticity, faced her own challenges, reconciling public expectations with private happiness. Together they navigated moments of heartbreak, compromise, and doubt, experiences that most fans never saw, yet which quietly shaped the fate of their marriage. Ultimately, the cracks behind closed doors were less about a lack of love, and more about the complexities of two extraordinary lives intersecting. Love alone could not shield them from the pressures of public scrutiny, personal growth, or the demands of family and career. Their marriage became a study in balance, sacrifice, and the human struggle to maintain intimacy while living life in the spotlight. By the time their separation became known, the world was quick to speculate, eager for sensationalized reasons. But the truth, as Jason would later reveal, was nuanced, a combination of personal evolution, differing priorities, and the realities of life under constant attention. The challenges they faced were profoundly human, and the decision to part ways, while heartbreaking, was a reflection of their desire for honesty, growth, and ultimately mutual respect. Behind the headlines, Jason and Lisa's story was not a scandal. It was a testament to the complexities of love, the pressures of fame, and the courage required to make difficult choices, even when the world is watching. After a year of speculation, Jason Momoa has finally spoken, confirming the reasons behind his divorce from Lisa Bonet, a revelation that has both stunned and humanized one of Hollywood's most admired couples. In his candid confession, Jason revealed that the split was not born of betrayal, scandal, or anger, but of personal growth, differing paths, and the realities of maintaining love under relentless scrutiny. The truth is far more poignant and relatable than any headline could capture, and it shines a light on the man behind the Aquaman persona, a father, a partner, and a human being navigating life's most difficult choices. Jason explained that over time, he and Lisa had evolved as individuals. Their love, once a perfect alignment of passion and artistry, began to confront the natural challenges of personal growth. As both pursued their own ambitions, priorities, and self-discovery, they realized that staying together could compromise not the love they shared, but the authenticity and fulfillment each sought individually. It was a decision grounded not in anger, but in respect, honesty, and the courage to honor themselves and their family. Fans have long speculated about the pressures of fame and public life, and Jason confirmed that constant scrutiny played a role in the strain. Every decision, every outing, every private disagreement was magnified in the public eye, creating a tension that no couple could easily escape. Yet amid this stress, Jason emphasized the enduring love and admiration he continues to hold for Lisa. The divorce was not a rejection of her, but a recognition that two extraordinary people sometimes need separate spaces to thrive. The emotional weight of this revelation is profound. Jason, known for his larger-than-life personality, shared the quiet pain of making a decision that impacted not just himself, but his children and the family unit. He spoke of sleepless nights, conversations filled with tears, and the deep commitment to ensuring that their separation remained dignified and compassionate. For a man celebrated for strength, charisma, and intensity, this honesty revealed a vulnerable and reflective side few had seen. Yet, even in the heartbreak, there is hope and resilience. Jason's focus now is on family, personal growth, and continuing to pursue his passions while honoring the love that shaped his life. He emphasized that their children remain at the center of everything, and that co-parenting with Lisa is built on mutual respect and affection. The revelation underscores a vital truth. Love can endure even when the romantic aspect ends, and respect and care can coexist with difficult decisions. This confession also reframes the narrative for fans and the public. The story of Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet is not one of scandal, betrayal, or failure. It is a story of two people navigating the complexities of life, love, and fame, ultimately choosing honesty over appearances. In confirming the rumors, Jason has not only set the record straight but also offered a deeply human perspective on divorce, growth, and the enduring bonds that transcend romantic love. At the end of the day, Jason Momoa's revelation reminds us that even the most celebrated figures face struggles, heartbreak, and tough decisions. The divorce, once a mystery shrouded in speculation, now carries clarity, compassion, and insight. And in sharing his truth, Jason has shown that strength is not just in heroics on screen, but in facing life honestly, embracing change, and moving forward with courage, dignity, and love.